What's up, trainers? Welcome back to PokePlayLab_DBSHQ, your go-to spot for elite Pokemon TCG strategies and master deck builds. Today, we're breaking down a brand new master deck build featuring Steven's Metagross X and Mega Mawile X, a powerhouse duo that's an absolute menace in today's meta. With insane synergy, tempo control, and disruptive power, this deck dominates whether you're climbing the online ladder or crushing it at locals. If you're a fellow creator, drop your YouTube link in the comments. I'd love to check out your work and support other passionate trainers in the community. Don't forget to stop by the community page to vote in polls, and check out the announcements playlist for updates on tournaments, raffles, and giveaways. Want to support the channel? You can donate through the Cash App link on our YouTube page. Every bit helps keep this content rolling strong. So buckle up, trainers. It's time to unleash the chaos with Steven's Metagross X and Mega Mawile X. Stay sharp, stay awesome, and as always, keep playing. First up, we've got 4 copies of Steven's Beldum, a basic metal-type Pokemon with 70 HP. It has 1 attack, Ram, which costs 1 metal and 1 colorless energy and deals 30 damage. Not bad for our starter Pokemon. It's the first step in setting up a much bigger combo later on. Steven's Beldum has a ×2 weakness to fire types, a 30 resistance to grass types, and a retreat cost of 1 colorless energy. Next, we've got 4 copies of Steven's Metang, the evolved form of Steven's Beldum, a metal-type Pokemon with 100 HP. It has 1 attack, Metal Slash, which costs 1 metal and 1 colorless energy and deals 70 damage. Just keep in mind, after using this attack, Metang can't attack during your next turn, so make sure you're ready to evolve it into Steven's Metagross X when the time comes. Steven's Metang has a ×2 weakness to fire types, a 30 resistance to grass types, and a retreat cost of 2 colorless energy. Next, we have 4 copies of Steven's Metagross X, the evolved form of Steven's Metang, a metal-type Pokemon with a massive 340 HP. Featuring 1 powerful ability and 1 strong attack. Its ability, X Boost, lets you search your deck for a basic Psychic Energy, a basic Metal Energy, or one of each, and attach them to your Psychic or Metal-type Pokemon in any way you like. Then, shuffle your deck. Its attack, Metal Stomp, costs 1 metal energy and 2 colorless energy and hits for 200 damage, giving this card some serious offensive power. This card is perfect for setting up energy acceleration. You can attach your regular energy for the turn plus use X Boost to attach even more energy to your board. That means faster setups and stronger plays for your metal Pokemon. Steven's Metagross X has a ×2 weakness to fire types, a 30 resistance to grass types, and a retreat cost of 3 colorless energy. Next, we have 4 copies of Mega Mawile X, a basic metal-type Pokemon with a solid 270 HP and 2 strong attacks that can really swing a match in your favor. Its first attack, Gobble Down, costs 2 metal energy and does 80 damage for each prize card you've taken. So the further you are into the game, the more devastating this attack becomes, making it an excellent late-game finisher. The second attack, Huge Bite, costs 2 metal energy and 1 colorless energy and hits for a massive 260 damage. However, if your opponent's active Pokemon already has any damage counters on it, the base damage drops to just 30. So be strategic when using this move. You'll want to target clean, undamaged Pokemon to get that full 260 hit. That's why we're running 4 copies of Boss's Orders, to bring out a fresh target with no damage, letting us land those heavy 260 damage knockouts and really apply pressure. Once you've started taking prize cards, you can switch over to Gobble Down, since each prize card adds another 80 damage. Turning Mega Mawile X into an unstoppable force in the late game. Just a reminder, since Mega Pokemon give up 3 prize cards when they're knocked out, always keep an eye on your HP. Don't worry too much though, we've got cards in the deck that can recover our Pokemon or return them to our hand when their health gets low, keeping us in control even if our opponent tries to focus down our Mega Pokemon. Mega Mawile X has a ×2 weakness to fire types, a 30 resistance to grass types, and a retreat cost of 2 colorless energy. Next, we have 4 copies of Genesect X, a basic metal-type Pokemon with 220 HP, featuring 1 ability and 1 attack that bring both support and power to this deck. Its ability, Metallic Signal, lets you search your deck for up to 2 evolution metal-type Pokemon, reveal them, and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. This is a fantastic setup tool that helps you quickly grab the evolution cards you need to start powering up your strategy and keep your hand full of options. Genesect X's attack, Protect Charge, costs 2 metal energy and 1 colorless energy, and hits for 150 damage. Plus, during your opponent's next turn, Genesect X takes 30 less damage from attacks, giving it some extra defense when it's in the active spot. Overall, Genesect X is an amazing support card to keep on your bench. Its metallic signal ability keeps your evolution line flowing smoothly, and if it gets pulled to the active spot, Protect Charge makes sure it can still hit hard and stay protected. Genesect X has a ×2 weakness to fire types, a 30 resistance to grass types, and a retreat cost of 2 colorless energy. Now we're moving on to our stadium cards. We're running 2 copies of Full Metal Lab. This stadium reduces damage taken by metal-type Pokémon, both yours and your opponent's, by 30 damage from attacks after applying weakness and resistance. This card works perfectly for us since our entire deck is built around metal Pokémon. That 30 less damage can be a huge difference between getting knocked out or surviving another turn to swing back harder. Now we're moving on to our supporter cards. We're running 1 copy of Hilda. When you play this card, you can search your deck for an evolution Pokémon and an energy card, reveal them, and add them to your hand, then shuffle your deck. This is a great consistency card. Being able to grab both an evolution Pokémon and an energy at once means you're getting 2 key pieces for the price of 1 supporter. Next up, we've got 4 copies of Boss's Orders. This card lets you switch in one of your opponent's bench Pokémon into the active spot, which can be a total game changer. The key here is timing. Only play Boss's Orders when you know you can knock out the Pokémon right away. Whether it's to finish off a damaged threat or pick off a weaker target for a quick prize card, it's all about setting up that decisive play. That's why I run 4 copies. It can turn the game in your favor instantly. Use it wisely. Next, we have 2 copies of Xerozic's Machinations. This card forces your opponent to discard cards from their hand until they only have 3 left. It's an amazing disruption card that really messes with your opponent's hand control, especially if they're sitting on 6 or 7 cards. You can instantly cut their options down to just 3, which can completely throw off their strategy and give you the upper hand. Next up, copies of Arven. When you play this card, you can search your deck for 1 item card and 1 Pokémon tool card. Reveal them, and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. This card is clutch for grabbing key setup pieces like Switch or Night Stretcher to keep your board moving smoothly. And don't forget, it also helps you grab Bravery Charm, one of our key tool cards for boosting survivability. Overall, Arven adds consistency and flexibility, letting you search out exactly what you need, right when you need it. Next, we have the of Airy. When you play this card, your opponent reveals their hand, and you discard up to 2 item cards you find there. This is a fantastic card for disrupting your opponent's strategy. By removing key item cards, Airy gives you hand control and can completely throw off your opponent's setup, especially if they're holding onto combo pieces or search tools. Next, we're running 2 copy of Rourke. This supporter card lets you draw 2 cards, then grab a basic energy from your discard pile and add it to your hand. It's a solid card for hand control and energy recovery, giving you just what you need to keep your strategy going, especially in longer matches where energy can get tight. Next, we have 2 copy of Bill's Transfer. This card lets you look at the top 8 cards of your deck, then reveal and add any number of Pokémon you find there to your hand. The rest get shuffled back into your deck. Bill's Transfer is what I'd call a high-risk, high-reward supporter. Sometimes, you might hit a dry spell and find no Pokémon at all, but more often than not, you'll pull 2 or 3 solid Pokémon to boost your setup. So while it's not always consistent, when it hits, it definitely helps smooth out your game. Next, we're running 3 copies of Penny. This card lets you put one of your basic Pokémon and all attached cards back into your hand. Penny is a key card in this deck, especially since we're using basic Mega Evolution Pokémon. Remember, when a Mega Pokémon gets knocked out, your opponent takes 3 prize cards, which can be a huge setback. That's where Penny saves the day. You can use it to pull your Mega Pokémon back to your hand before it gets KO'd, protecting your strategy and keeping control of the match. Next, we're playing 1 copy of Super Rod. This item lets you shuffle up to 3 cards from your discard pile back into your deck, in any combination of Pokémon and basic energy. While you can definitely mix it up, for example, shuffling back 1 Pokémon and 2 energy, I usually use Super Rod to recycle 3 energy, keeping my energy count healthy and ready for future turns. Next, we have 2 copy of Night Stretcher. This item lets you put either a Pokémon or a basic energy card from your discard pile into your hand. It's a super flexible recovery card, whether you need to get back a key Pokémon for your strategy or grab a basic energy to set up your next attack. Night Stretcher gives you that utility when you need it most. Next, we have 1 copy of Prime Catcher. This powerful card lets you switch one of your opponent's bench Pokémon into the active spot. And if you do, you also have to switch your active Pokémon with one from your bench. This is perfect for pulling up a weaker opponent for an easy knockout. Just remember, you'll have to switch too. Next, we're including 3 copies of Switch. This card lets you swap your active Pokémon with one of your benched Pokémon, which is especially useful if we need to rotate Steven's Metagross X or any other Pokémon that needs support. Now let's move on to our only Pokémon tool. We're running 2 copies of Bravery Charm. This card gives any basic Pokémon it's attached to 50 HP, which can make a big difference in keeping them on the field longer. Just remember, this boost only applies while the Pokémon is still basic. Once it evolves, Bravery Charm no longer takes effect. Still, it's a great way to help your early game setup Pokémon survive a few extra hits. Now let's move on to our energy cards. For this deck, we're running 10 metal energy cards, keeping it simple and consistent so we always have the resources we need to power up our attacks and keep the pressure on. And that wraps up our master deck build featuring Steven's Metagross X and Mega Mawile X. If you enjoyed the breakdown or found it helpful, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe for more Pokémon TCG Master Deck builds, and let me know in the comments what combos you'd like to see next. Until next time, keep training, keep battling, and I'll see you in the next video.
Don't forget to subscribe!